Hi guys, welcome back to the channel, and in this video I will take a look at the alligator trading strategy. So I think that the majority of you know what alligator strategy is. It has been around for some time now, and I just want to see if it's something that can be turned into a profitable expert advisor. So here on my screen you can see the steps that I will follow throughout this video. So I will start by explaining the alligator strategy. After that I will initialize or create the expert advisor for the alligator strategy, and I will import the indicator. After that, I will create entry functions, so basically functions that will give me signal for entering either buy or sell position. And yeah, then I have to test the performance of the EA, and I will also try to upgrade the EA if possible. Okay, so yeah, let's not waste any more time and let's get to it. Before we start, I would like to encourage you to check out the description of this video, where you can find a link to my website, which you can see right here. And basically I provide there a lot of free indicators that you can get. So yeah, check it out and see if there's anything that can help you with your trading. And now let's move to the video. Okay, so as you can see, I am here in my MT5 basically. I have opened chart here, and here you can see the alligator indicator basically. As you can see, the alligator indicator consists of 3 moving averages. The first one is called lips, and it has period of 5 with some shift. The second one is called teeth. It has period of 8 and is also shifted. And the last one is called jaws, and it has period of 13. So these 3 moving averages create the alligator indicator. When combining these moving averages, we are able to generate buy and sell signals basically. The buy signal happens at a crossover of these moving averages. So what we are looking for is something like this. We want the green moving average to be the highest of all of them. The red moving average should be in the middle, and the blue moving average should be as the lowest one basically. So for example, in this setup we would enter a buy position somewhere in here, and the same goes for sell positions as well. You just reverse the order basically. So the lowest moving average is the green one, the red one stays in the middle, and the highest moving average is the blue one. So in this case we would enter sell position somewhere in here. So I hope this is clear, and this is basically what we will be coding in MQL5. So I've switched to my MT5 editor that you can see here, and yeah, let's create the EA. So I will open my experts folder that is right here. I will scroll down to the YouTube folder that I have created for this channel, and let's create a new file. It will be expert advisor template, so I will click on next, and let's name it alligator EA. Okay, so let's leave out any parameters because the alligator indicator has set parameters for it. So let's start with not changing the parameters, and we can change them later on in the video. So I won't need any of these functions. I would say maybe on timer, but I don't think it's necessary. So I will leave all of them unchecked like this, and I will click on next. And also I don't need any of these functions as well. So let's click on finish, and this is what we'll be working with. I will also just make or zoom in on the code so it's visible. Yeah, this is better. Okay, so when working with alligator indicator, there are basically two ways that you can use or how you can like use the indicator in MQL5. You can also sorry, not also, you can, okay, let's just start with deleting all of these comments right here, as I don't want them to distract me. And let's get to my previous thought. Okay, so your number one option is to use the alligator indicator that comes up with an MQL5. So you can like use this indicator and just paste all of the inputs there, and then you get your indicator. Or you can import 3 moving averages with the proper periods and shifts, and then it behaves the same basically. But since I want this to be, I want to show you how to work with an alligator indicator as well, I will use the built-in alligator indicator. Okay, so let's get to it. So the first thing that we need to do when working with any indicator is to create a handle for that indicator. So that's what I will do right now. So let's create integer alligator handle, and we don't have to assign any value to it. On a global scope, we'll assign value to it on init function. So handle for alligator indicator. Okay. So this is the first step. Then we have to keep in mind that since this is an expert advisor, we will want to open buy and sell positions somewhere later in this video. So I will also have to include the trade/trade.mqh library for MQL5 basically. And I can already create ctrade ctrade instance of that library, and let's call it trade. Okay, so that's it. Then also I will need ask and bid price, ask for opening buy positions and bid price for opening sell positions. So I will define these two variables on the global scope, and I will assign an initial value of 0 to both of them. Okay, so far this looks good. So let's move to the on init function, in which I will assign a value to the alligator handle. Okay, and it will be alligator. So now we have to deal with the inputs. I don't remember the inputs, so I will have to switch to my MT5 to check for them, but that's not an issue. So let's start with the symbol name, which will be the current symbol, current period, and now, so the job period, let's go back here and let's check it. So alligator, so jaw 13.85853. Okay, let's try to memorize this. So 13.85853, so 8 13.8.5. I hope it's like this. Okay, so let's check it one more time. So 853, so 853 and 13.8.5, 13.8.5. Okay, so this is correct. Then the method is smoothed, so we have to keep this in mind. So mode SMMA, and then price median. And if we check with the indicator median price, so these are basically the initial values, or the initial values for the alligator indicator. So this is good. we can delete this on the init function, as we don't need it for this moving average, sorry, expert advisor, and we can move on to the onTick function, in which we will work the rest of the code. Okay, so let's also go back here. I forgot to change the colors as we processed with the video. So explain strategy, that's done. Initialize EA, that's also done. And now let's create the entry functions. Okay. So before creating an entry functions, we need to get the alligator values, because basically we need values for each of those moving averages in order to be able to spot the crossover. So let's create three arrays. So lips, teeth, and jaw. Okay, let's name them as they should be named, and then we will call this copy buffer function. So for each of these arrays we will use the same handle, but we will use different buffer number basically. Let's try out if I can get this right on the first try. So I think for lips values, the buffer number should be 0, starting position will be 0, and I will need 2 values, I think, and I will store it into the lips array. Then I will just take this, copy it here and here, and I will change the buffer number, and I will change the arrays as well. So by doing this, I should have all the data that I need, but let's check it. So I will comment out the most recent values for each of the arrays, and let's see if we have it right or not. So lips, and let's say lips at position 1. Then let's check teeth, and let's say position 1, and also jaw position 1. Okay, so now let's compile this. Let's go back here. Let's go to the strategy tester, in which I will find the alligator EA. Let's change this to 224, and let's enable the visual mode. And yeah, so let's zoom in and let's check the values. Okay, so lips should be the lowest one, and if we check all of these, we can say that the lips are, or so this is jaws. Okay, so 08072. Okay, I think we messed up, or I messed up the order, because this doesn't add up basically. So we say that this is a jaw, but this is lips. Okay, so I guess we just need to change the order of the buffers like this, and let's try one more time. Let's see what happens. So now it should be nice and clear. So basically lips are the highest, which is correct. So lips are the highest, okay. Then teeth are in the middle, and that's correct as well. And jaw are the lowest value, or have the lowest value, which is also correct. Okay, so now we know that we are working with correct values, so that's good. Okay, so now that we have our data that we can work with, we can move on to creating the entry functions basically. So let's start. I don't think that I will create a function for buying and selling. I think what I will do is that I will continue on tick function and I will just put everything in there as it will be easier. So the first thing we have to do is that we have to basically get the trend. Okay, so we have to catch the crossover, and the crossover will be catched by comparing the trend, or by trend I mean if the moving averages are in this order, then we are in a bullish trend. If the moving averages are in this order, then we are in a downtrend. And if they are somehow mixed, as you can see right here, then we are in a sideways trend. Okay, so what we will do is that we will firstly get the trend for the previous values, so shifted by 1, and then we will compare them with the current trend. And what we will looking for is something like that the previous trend was a sideways trend, but now there's a bullish trend, so we know that there was a crossover, and therefore we should open a buy position. And that it also tells us, for example, if the previous trend was bullish. So for example here, when we are in the same trend, then it doesn't give us the false signal of false crossover basically. So that's what I will do. So let's create an integer called shifted trend, okay, and let's say something like if lips position 0 are higher than div at position 0 and div at position 0 are higher than jaw at position 0, then we are in an uptrend, so I will assign it value of 1. If this is not true, I will check the same thing for a downtrend. So if lips position 0 are lower than div at position 0 and div at position 0 are lower than jaw at position 0, then we are in a downtrend and I will assign it value of 2. And if none of these conditions are true, then I will assign it value of 0, which means that we are in a sideways trend. And now let's do the same thing for a current trend. So current trend, so I will just change the numbers in here. So now we are working with current values basically. Okay, so this is good. And yeah, so now what we can do is that we can check the shift trend or shifted trend with the current trend, and if they are not the same, then we know that there was a crossover of some type. And then by checking the current trend, we know which crossover happened. So if shifted trend is not equal to current trend and current trend is equal to 1, then we know that we should open buy position. Okay, and if shifted trend is not equal to current trend and current is equal to 2, then we know that we should open a sell position. Okay, so by doing this we will be able, we are able to catch the crossover. So yeah, let's get to it. So now what I need to do is that somewhere here I need to get the latest ask value, so symbol info double symbol ask, and I also need to get the latest bit value, so symbol info double symbol bit. Okay, so this is what I need to start with, and then I also need to deal with take profit and stop loss. So what we can do is that we can either select a static take profit and stop loss. Therefore, we, for example, say that our take profit is 100 points, stop loss is 500 points, and we use all of these, or we use these values for all of the positions. Or we can do something like that. We will open a position and we will close the position on change of the trend, basically. So if I go back here, what we can do is that when we open buy position right here, we want to close that position at this point. Okay, so when like the trend changes, which happens right here, then we go into a sideways trend. At this moment I can close that position. This approach, of course, has its pros and cons. The advantage is that when we catch a great move, so for example the market continues with the current trend for some period of time, then we are able to catch most of that movement. But for example, if we look here, so here is our sell signal, so we would sell here, and then the crossover happens at this point. Okay, in this case we still would be profitable, but it's very close. What I mean to say is that when the market doesn't move that much, then there's a possibility that we will like close with a loss. Yeah. So we have to decide what's better, but I think just for sake of for this video to be more interesting, I think I will go with that approach. So I will close the positions on the opposite signal. Okay, so let's get to it. So trade dot buy volume. We don't have to worry about the volume right now. Price is ask price, and since we don't want to set static stop loss and static take profit, we will set both of them to 0, and then let's say buy. And yeah, let's do the same thing for sell side. I'll just change this to bid and sell right here. Okay, so this is good, and now I can create functions that will close the positions for me. So close positions, and it will require one positional argument, and that is trend. So for example, if I know that I have my buy position and trend is not bullish, then I know that I want to close that buy position. And the same goes for sell position. If I have open sell position and the trend is sideways, for example, then I know that I want to close that sell position. So that's why I need this trend parameter here. So let's go. So for int x equals 0, x is lower than positions total. So now I'm looping through all of the open positions basically. And let's first get the ticket. So position X, then I need type, and this is all I need basically for now. And let's just check. So if type is equal to position type buy and trend is not 1, so if you remember, we assigned number 1 to a bullish trend, okay, then I want to close that position with ticket and deviation of -1. And we can do the same thing for position type sell and trend is not 2. Let's do the same thing here. So now it should work. So I will go back here on this onTick function, and I will just call the close positions with a trend equal to the current trend. So now if I'll compile all of this, I go also here, I change the color here. Now we can test the performance. So let's see if this works. Okay, and something happens, yeah, sure. And I want only one open position at a time, so I'll just add this condition here, and it will solve the issue for me. Okay, so this basically works as it should be working. So here you can see that we receive our buy signal basically, which is correct because the lines or the moving averages are in the correct order, and then we close the buy position when the trend changes. So at this bar it changes to sideways trend, therefore we close this buy position. Then we open a sell position. It's not that visible here, but it's the moving averages are in the correct order, so this is a valid signal. So we open here, close here, open here, close here, because we are in this like a sideways trend, let's say. And then yeah, we open buy position here, close it here, but we are still in a sideways trend. This is something that we would want to avoid, but the issue is that you don't know if it's going to be a sideways trend before it happens, basically. Okay, so if we were at this point, because now looking backwards, we can say that we want to avoid something like this, but how can we know before it happens? We can't. Okay, so this is not something that we can avoid. So then we open another sell position here, close it here, then another sell position here, close it at the change of the trend here, another sell position, buy position. Okay, so far it seems like it doesn't perform that well in sideways trend, and that's something that I thought before that. So let's see how this performs in a trending market. Okay, so let's just wait for this sideways period to come to an end, and here we opened buy position, which seems pretty great. So now yeah, so this is what we are looking for. So we open buy position here, and then we stay with the market movement, and we close this position right here when the green moving average goes below the red one, and then we open another buy position. Yeah, so this is first of all this is extremely frequent, so we get a lot of positions, and what we are basically looking for is something like this, where we stay in the position for a long time. Okay, so yeah, that's what we are looking for. Okay, so a lot of positions here. If we check this, a lot of positions there. Okay, so yeah, this works like as it should be working. So let's close the visual mode, as we can see the results, and let's just run it without the visual mode, and we can see that this is pretty much like a break-even strategy. It won't, or in this case it didn't make much money, but yeah, it's really close to the zero. So let's test it on higher or on more years. So let's test it on last 4 years on 50-minute time frame, and this doesn't look great, so let's change this to 1 hour time frame. This looks better. It's still profitable, so let's change it to some different symbol. Okay, so this period right here looked very nice, but still a break even basically strategy. So let's think about the strategy that we have here, and let's see if we can somehow upgrade this. So it's clear that the main issue is that we open positions in a sideways trend basically. Okay, so when we are at this point, there's no clear trend, then we open position and it doesn't go anywhere. But also the issue is that, as I said before, we can't know for sure which position basically will continue and which won't. Because if you check, for example, these positions right here, the difference is 4 candlestick. This one didn't move anywhere, and you can see that this was a false signal, but then we get this one at pretty much the same like price level, and it goes all the way down here. Okay, so I don't think that filtering these sideways positions is possible, because if it were possible, then it would be very easy to profit from these markets basically. But what we can do is that we can say something like that the sideways trend occurs in a markets with very low volatility. Okay, so that's something that is true, and that's something that we can say. Now the question is, how can we filter out very low volatility periods? And yeah, we can, for example, use an ATR indicator. That's something that we can use. We can also use something like ADR, which is like for a daily range. That's also something that we can use, but I don't think that it will be that much of a help, because as I've said before, we would also filter out periods with profitable positions. So let's take a look at this, and let's come up with something different. So it's clear that we can profit in a trending market better. So for example, here, if we take a look at this market movement, we can see that we have opened multiple buy positions. So this is the first position, then there was a pullback. Okay, then we opened next position after the pullback, and next position after next pullback. Okay, so this is something that we want to use as much as possible. If we check for a downtrend here, there weren't any pullbacks here, therefore we only opened one position and went all the way down. But yeah, there was this pullback here afterwards, and we opened another sell position, which didn't lead to much of a profit, but yeah, that's what happens. So what I will do is that I will add some kind of a trend indicator basically. Okay, so I will try to filter out, or sorry, one more thing. Is it possible to filter this out? Okay, forget the indicator thing or the trend indicator thing, and let's check the data here. Okay, so are there any hours that seem to be losing a lot of money? And they are. You can see here that after 5 p.m. all of the hours are losing cash basically. Okay, so if we open a position after 5 p.m. then we are losing positions. That might be because as we progress to midnight, the markets tend to lose volatility, and therefore it's a choppy market like this. So let's test this theory on something different, on some different symbol. So for example, this one, and let's see if we can, or if the backtest supports our claim. And it pretty much does. In this case, it's after 18 or 6 p.m. Okay, so losing, and yeah. So let's try this with GBP USD as well, just to see like if this does support our claim or not. And I would say that it does. So what I will do is that I will create a time filter basically. So we will like filter out the hours that we don't want to open positions after. Okay, so let's go back here and let's say input integer starting hour. So this is like the starting hour for our trading. Let's say 5, and input integer ending hour. So this will be our stop hour. Okay, so 18. We can change these settings after that. And let's go here and let's create Boolean function called time OK, in which we will check if the current time is within those within that time range basically. Okay, so let's create MQL. How was it? MQL date time. Then let's do time GMT, and let's paste the time here. Yeah, we have to return something initially, so time OK, return true. So yeah, that's our initial thing. And then we want to check, so if time.hour is lower than starting hour, or time.hour is larger than ending hour, then return false. Okay, so it's as simple as that. And then I will add these conditions here. So if time okay, so before opening any positions, we will check the time, and if we are not in the time range, we won't open any position. So let's add this here. Let's start the test and let's just check if this works like in the backtest. And it okay, so this is interesting. So basically, yeah, this is interesting because this is for closing the positions. So when we close a position at 8 p.m. for example here, it doesn't mean that we open that position at 8 p.m. We for example open that position at 2 p.m. and then we hold that position for like 6 hours or so, and then we close it right here. So this is not something that we can change, but maybe there's a correlation between the opening time basically and a closing time. So what I will do is that I will optimize this EA. Sorry if this is like too advanced, or if this doesn't make that much sense, but this just became pretty interesting to me. So I will backtest it, or I will optimize it to see. So let's optimize it like this, and let's wait for the results. Okay. Okay, so we are optimizing, and like this doesn't have to improve the strategy at all, but it just might. And yeah, I want to check the possibilities, and as you can see, it already does. So for example, if we only open positions between 6 a.m. and 7 a.m., then we end up in a profit, but with a really low number of positions. Okay, so let's just wait for this optimization to complete. Okay, so okay, do we have anything new in here? Okay, this seems also pretty interesting. Yeah, basically, yeah, what we could also do is that we could like change the take profit and stop loss. So obviously it doesn't work that well in a choppy market, and since our issue is with choppy market, we can like set static take profit stop loss, optimize that, or set dynamic take profit stop loss by using ATR indicator, for example, and optimize that after. Like, you have so many possibilities how to optimize and upgrade this EA that the possibilities are almost endless, I would say. So it's really up to you. Like, the code is available, so I would encourage you to to recreate the EA basically, and then try to make it profitable for yourself. Okay, anything new here? So it seems like I will stop the test, as I don't want this to take so much time. But it seems like if we start trading in an early hours, then it tends to be more profitable. So for example, let's try this setting here. Okay, why not? Why not? It's profitable. We can't say that it's not. And if I leave the settings like this and I go to different currency pair, it's still like, it still does perform better compared to the previous test. And yeah, but it's not something that I would use. So let me just check how long this is. Already 43 minutes. So yeah, I don't think that I will be adding any more functionalities to this. As I've said before, like with MQL5 you are just limited by your own imagination. So yeah, let's try, or yeah, I'm just thinking about how to improve it. But yeah, so as I said before, give it a try, copy the code and try to make it better. So as this will be end of this video, I'll just show you the code one more time so you can like follow it, and yeah, copy it for your own usage. So here we start, yeah, handle, ask, bid price, starting hours, ending hours. As it turned out, this is not much of a help, so you can leave this out. Then loading the handle by alligator indicator, and yeah, on tick, basically this is all that we do. So firstly we create the arrays for lips, teeth and jaw, then we copy values into it, then we get the shift trend and the current trend, also ask bid price, then we check shift trend with current trend, and we also check the current trend and positions total. And if all of the conditions are okay, then we open buy position, the same thing for sell position. And then we have this close positions function, which loops or iterates through all of the all of the open positions. It checks the current trend, and if there was a change in a trend, then it closes the appropriate positions. So yeah, and then if you want, this is the time function. It's very simple. Basically you check if the hour is either higher than ending hour or lower than starting hour, and if this is true, then you return false, and when you return false, you don't open any positions. So yeah, that's it for this video. Thank you for watching, and I hope that this was interesting. Bye.